Welcome back. Just before we bring in Mark, we want to talk to the Theatre Commander Operation Lafia Dole, General Lucky Irabo. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you. Morning.
The news out there, commendations have been coming to the military for the efforts at capturing Sambisa Forest. But beyond the Sambisa Forest, what next?
Thank you very much for the question. The operation is not over. As you are aware from the brief I gave the last time, the terrorists are on the run. What we're doing currently is to chase after them. So we're carrying out mop-up operations. And beyond the mop-up operations, we're also working in concert with other stakeholders for them to begin to play greater lead in the operation. So I believe that as the days go by, other agencies who, of course, have been working with us, they want to take a greater lead by deploying massively into the areas that we have liberated, where roads have now been opened for them to ensure that socio-economic activities in those areas begin to thrive beyond the current level.
Okay, you said the operation is over, but the war is not exactly over. So one, you say you're doing a mop-up exercise. What are you looking at, especially now that this insurgent would have somewhat infiltrated the citizenry, seeing that they don't have a particular look? What exactly are you looking for? And if the citizens even want to help, what should they be looking out for?
You're right. Yes, I did indicate in my press brief that we have won the war, but we need to win the peace. Now, essentially, your observation that some of the insurgents may have infiltrated into the various communities. That is why I believe that the stage we are in will require the cooperation of all and all the citizens for them to expose those faces that they now see hibernating around their communities, and of course others who may have some form of sympathy or the other for the insurgents, for them to give them up. We believe that a greater level of intelligence is essential at this stage of the operation. We also think that other agencies, of course, even though we have been collaborating with them, they need to their game. So I think going forward, I have, I'm so optimistic that greater gains will be made in the days ahead.
All right, hold on. My colleague Mark has a question. Mark,
Well, General, first of all, I think as a Nigerian, it's in place to say well done for the work that you're doing in Sambisa and also to the military. But then there are also questions as to whether or not this is the entire takeover of Sambisa Forest or this is just a takeover of Kamzairo. Because when we saw the release by Shakal yesterday, he looked like he was still in the northern part of the country. The army has, first of all, let's let you respond to that.
Yes, this forest is quite large, no doubt about it. Of course, what will we be expecting from Shekau at this stage? He needs to, he of course will want to show some form of relevance. We have not in any way denied the fact that we have not arrested him. We are still on his chase. That's what to the world. What we can tell you is that his base, Camp Zero, where he had his headquarters, we are now dominating the area. We showed you all the exploits that we made. Other parts of the Sambisa forest, of course, we've been exploiting for the past 1 month, and even currently we are still there. So perhaps we are looking at other areas beyond Sambisa forest where we think that it could be still seen as a safe haven, and that's why I indicated that we are carrying out mop-up operations to ensure that wherever he intends to go or wherever he is, we will seek him out.
What are your speculations? What areas do you think do you still think it could be within the borders of Nigeria? If it's not within the borders, do you think that the multinational joint task force is up to rooting him out wherever he might be willing to escape to?
You know, our deployment is such that every area is covered. But you know, you only, in military operations, you look at approaches. And you look at the terrain, and you also look at the setup and what the threat mapping, has been all this while, and then try to see the entire environment from the point of view of the terrorists. And given that in mind, we, of course, have stepped up our mop-up operations to ensure that areas that hitherto we did not think we needed to go to, we're now making efforts to ensure that those areas are properly combed across not just Sambisa, but also in the north. And this is precisely what we're doing. And I believe that in due course, gains will be made in that regard.
How do you think that they were able to escape? I mean, look at the number of vehicles they seem to be showing there, and people suspect that they might have escaped more than we see, especially when we also believe that this group is still holding the rest of the Chibok girls, perhaps along with other kidnapped women and children. How do you think they were able to move so quickly?
You know, the operation within just the storm on Camp Zero was not just overnight. You know that we have been giving you day-by-day account of what we've been doing, even though the brief is on a weekly basis. But again, it's a daily occurrence. Now, the picture or the video that you saw was an area shot. Now, the axis of our approach into Camp Zero, of course, the ground troops is a different ball game. Where the ground troops, when they approach from an axis, and then of course the air viewing from above. So this is the reason why I said that we are on their chase. Given the information available to us from that ISR report, we have stepped up our chase after them. Forest or what you call jungle operations is not as simple as possibly what you viewed from that issue. So the assurance I want to give to Nigerians is that we're after them, and every other person who, of course, is held hostage in the fold of the Boko Haram terrorists will be released.